Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you roll me, we'll make your dreams come true. Nexa, 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 next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Tuesday, January 31, 2023. In the headlines, government aims to salvage Kimton Kawanabay project. Inadequate court facilities again affecting the judicial process. Local businesses to benefit from 3-day trade mission. Volunteer teams engage in cleanup and beautification ahead of Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. And around the globe regionally, Black Panther Star encourages peace among parliamentarians in Guyana. Internationally, the U.S. to end COVID-19 emergencies in May. Plus, in the sports news, Spice Boys to play international friendly against the USA. Good evening, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste here at Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. We're live. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. The NDC administration is still hoping that the developers of the Kimton Kawanabay Hotel project will be willing to sit at the negotiation table with it to figure out how they can resume the mega project nestled in the corner of the Grandin speech. Rena Pett Thomas has this update.
It has been 2 years since operations have been placed on halt on the Kimton Kawanabay project, which was due to open in 2021 and operated by one of the world's leading hotel and boutique operators, Kimton Hotels and Restaurant. While no one knows what truly transpired between former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and his former friend and investor of the project, Mr. Warren Newfield, what we do know is that in 2022, the developers filed a complaint with the International Center for the Settlement of Investment, which is an arm of the World Bank devoted to resolving international investment disputes against sovereign states. The arbitration filed claimed that the then NMP government had solely imposed a limitation on the use of CBI funds for the construction cost of the hotel. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell said his government remains resolute in its quest to proceed with the multi-million-dollar Kimpton Kawanabie project. However, the developers behind the Kimpton Kawanabie Hotel project said the damage is already done. According to a release issued by Truby Development, the company behind the Kawanabie Resort project noted government's intention to negotiate with a view to seeing the Kawanabie Hotel development completed. Unfortunately, the extensive damage to the project caused by the action of the former government administration in Grenada has severely complicated and handicapped the efforts towards a settlement. The statement further reads in part, and I quote, "We welcome the Prime Minister's statement and remain open to the possibility of an amicable settlement in the interest of all stakeholders. That said, we continue to take prudent steps to move the arbitration process forward as effectively as the circumstances permit. We are cognizant that in the ordinary course, the international arbitration processing may span into 2024. However, we maintain a cautiously optimistic outlook that 2023 may bring a positive and final outcome." End of quote. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell says that a subcommittee has been developed to deal with the issue.
Cabinet appointed a subcommittee of persons led by Richard Duncan to look into how we can find a way to resolve this matter. There's been several rounds of discussions on a without prejudice basis with the developer and with would-be interested third parties to see whether we can come to a deal that allows for the continued completion of the site and for it to become a up and running and open hotel. Those discussions are ongoing. The government, for its part, is prepared to do everything that we can within our fiscal space to get this project completed. Thank you.
The Prime Minister said his government aims to settle the matter out of the court system so that the project can be completed and the country can benefit from it.
Our preferred policy and approach would be to have this matter settled. We don't think it's in the interest of Grenada to have the hotel standing there incomplete, given the advanced stage of construction on what is perhaps the most spectacular view on Grandlands Beach. And obviously it's an eyesore in the current state. You drive through the middle of it. It's located on prime property. So we think it's in our interest to have the hotel completed. It was being constructed in the main by a local contractor with over 200 Grenadians working on the site. So as much as possible, we want to get back to a position where the construction resumes and the hotel is completed.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Well, the need for adequate court facilities is again snagging the spotlight. Two attorneys are urging the authorities to address the issue with urgency so that justice can prevail. Nisha Paul attended Judiciary Matters today and has this brief.
If the trial is to continue in the stadium, there is need for some reconfiguration of the stadium to accommodate the trial of 6 accused. The space is there, of course there is adequate space, but one of the primary issues as defense counsel have raised is the layout of the present court that sits in the stadium. So we expect if there is no resolution before then or a certain course of action taken in relation to the accused and the prosecution's case, then if the matter is going to trial, the stadium will be properly configured to accommodate the trial.
Attorney Ferguson noted that for accused persons to get a fair trial, there must be appropriate facilities.
What is referred to as the Saigon murder trial involving 6 accused was slated to today, in fact since last week, but it has been adjourned. 4 of the accused are on remand pending trial, 2 are on bail, and the matter has been adjourned to June 5th 2023.
He was speaking against the backdrop of the 5-year-old Kendall Smith murder case. Smith reportedly died as a result of hypovolemic shock and polytrauma after receiving several chop wounds around his body. The murder-accused men, Alpheus Thomas, Chevon Thomas, Ronnie Thomas, Micah Stephen, Robert Stephen, and Terrell Stephen, are represented by different attorneys. Jury selection and the trial was slated for today before Madam Justice Victoria Charles Clark at the St. George's No. 2 High Court and was once again deferred to another date in June. Attorney Jerry Edwin says there is need for further discussion to smooth out the issue.
That matter has been put over so that the parties can continue to discuss a way to resolve this matter. We are in discussion. That is, we, the defense counsels, are in discussion with the Director of Public Prosecution.
All right, that report there by Nisha Paul. Alan Thomas has pleaded guilty to the offense of manslaughter in connection with the 2020 stabbing death of Angus Blesdale, also known as Snackit. Represented by attorney Jerry Edwin, the Tebaid resident who goes by the alias Cabbage appeared before Madam Justice Victoria Charles Clark at the St. George's No. 2 High Court on Tuesday.
Prosecutor lowered the charge from murder to manslaughter. I conferred with Mr. Thomas, my client, and we've agreed to accept a guilty plea. The court, as Justice Charles Clark did this morning, requested a social inquiry report. Now, the court does not know the defendant. Only the community does, his family or her family. And so the probation officers will go out into the community, find out who the defendant is. And this is why it's so important to keep a good reputation.
The now convicted man found himself on the wrong side of the law after reportedly inflicting a stab wound to the body of the now deceased man during an altercation at a village shop. Snackit reportedly died some hours after the violent altercation occurred. Thomas, who is no stranger to the court, is currently on remand at His Majesty's prisons. He's scheduled for sentencing on February 24. Meanwhile, attorney Jerry Edwin is also providing legal counsel for Michael McQueen, who is on trial for non-capital murder in connection with another 5-year-old incident involving a senior citizen.
That murder occurred in Belmont in 2018, and it has finally come to trial. We have impaneled the jury, and the case will be heard by those 12 good men and women tomorrow in court number 2 on Young Street.
Attorney Edwin says the prosecution has a list of 8 witnesses to give evidence in the matter against McQueen and speaks of plans to call witnesses of his own as the trial gets underway.
Well, we know now there are 2 doctors, 3 civilian witnesses, and 2 police officers who will testify for the Crown. We, of course, are taking the position, based on our instructions, that Mr. McQueen did not commit this offense. We will have 2 witnesses, as well as Mr. McQueen himself in this case.
Other news, a batch of youth parliamentarians had their day in the House of Representatives for the first youth parliament for 2023. Christina John tuned in to the debate and has this report.
The young debaters' topic was, be it resolved that the CBI program, as regulated by the CBI Act of 2013, is a viable means for the government to increase revenue. Be it further resolved that the revenue generated through the CBI program be targeted to specific sectors. Here are some of the highlights raised by members supporting the benefits of the Citizenship by Investment program.
The 2 motions in the resolution can be summed up to: CBI is a viable, sustainable route to achieve economic prosperity. Economic prosperity alludes to economic growth, which is the increase in revenue. Economic sustainability will refer to the durability and the security of this program. economic development which will be achieved by the revenue being targeted and reinvested into specific sectors. As regards to the government's increase in revenue, the CBI program is not a newcomer. Mr. Speaker, even if you did a little 10-minute research, you can see this from the year 2014 to present day, Mr. Speaker. The Ministry of Finance has recorded a consistent increase in revenue generated from the CBI program. Less than 55 million EC in 2014 to over 200 million EC in 2022 or 2023.
The CBI program generates valuable income for our economy, and in order for it to be properly utilized, we must target it to specific sectors. Mr. Speaker, it is undeniable that our environment is vital for economic development, and as a Minister for Climate Resilience, Environmental and Renewable Energy, Social and Community Development, Gender Affairs and Housing, I would like to recommend an integrated method in order to develop our communities that does not encroach on our valuable environment.
Making it an attractive option. Mr. Speaker, the CBI program has been an easy source of revenue in our Tri-Island states that leads to economic development and plays a critical role in encouraging foreign investment in our country. Mr. Speaker, could you imagine that the Island of Spice have the 33rd strongest passport in the world? Mr. Speaker, to you, I will explain to the members on the other side on the resolution brought before the House.
On the contrary, members of the opposing side had a different outlook.
Some politicians who accept this bargain and learn from it. However, there are some who create resolutions to try and hide from it. Hence, we are here today. Ladies and gentlemen in the gallery, members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, we are here today to discuss an issue of great importance to Grenada. The National Transformation Fund is of vital importance to Grenada. It is a serious and incredible source of funding that is not undeniable. However, my honorable members on the other side think that it is a viable source, the CBI, to increase revenue in Grenada. Now, Mr. Speaker, why is it that I'm including the National Transformation Fund along with the CBI? Because they are linked. All the revenue generated from the Citizenship by Investment Program, governed by the Act of 2013, of course, goes directly towards the National Transformation Fund.
Mr. Speaker, the CBI program, as regulated by the CBI Act of 2013, is not the viable means for government to obtain revenue. In fact, Mr. Speaker, two things happened when I read the CBI Act of 2013. One, my blood pressure rose, and two, I'd say a lot of mercy. Mr. Speaker, as my colleague had so righteously given a definition of viable for the purpose of further edification, a synonym for viable is suitable, which, Mr. Speaker, I argue today that the CBI program, as regulated by the CBI Act of 2013, is everything but.
I believe that it is in the best interest of this country that emphasis be placed on assisting and rehabilitating these individuals. I mean, the food hampers and so on around Christmas times is nice. However, I believe that initiatives ought to be more intentional and geared specifically towards addressing this issue.
At the end of the debate, the top three debaters were recognized. Third was Ishmael Lett, second, Karina Blash, and top debater was Abigail Ellis. A number of government officials were present as a show of support to those young aspiring parliamentarians. Christina John, GBN News.
This is Network News. We're live from the Grenadian capital. Coming up from us, workers' contribution increase to the National Insurance Scheme expected to take effect from February. Stay with us.
Rep your colors. Hot 98 presents the 473 Colors Boat Ride. Going on Saturday, February 4. Get your tickets now at gotofed.com for only $65. Food included.
The party nice.
Boarding time 7 p.m. The boat sails at 7:30. Music on board by the Hot 98 DJs plus other guest DJs.
Baby, calm down, calm down.
Rep your colors on the boat, cause this one here is gonna be epic. Lock the date, Saturday, February 4th, Hot 98, 473 Colors Boat Ride. Don't you miss this.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Grenada, it's our 49th independence celebrations. It's not just about reflecting on the past, but charting the way forward for national development, improving lives and livelihoods, and embracing our mission for visible transformation. That time is now, and the vision is for everyone. It's about our civic responsibility. From Saturday 20th January to 5th February, we joined the National Celebrations Committee for Cleanup and Beautification Projects island-wide in the following communities. St. Andrew Southeast, January 28, in front of Marquis Hard Court. St. Andrew Southwest, January 28, Munich Junction and School Gap and Carlton Junction. St. Andrew Northeast, January 28, La Poterie Junction, Tivoli Junction, Moya Junction, and Paradise Junction near Seamoon Roundabout. St. Andrew Northwest, Birch Grove Junction. St. David, January 28th and January 29th. Major junctions include La Tante, Pomrose, Malmont, Roucaine, Bellevue, Coles Gap, Corinth, Redgate, Westerhall Point, and Penmata. Town of St. George, January 29th, the alley between Halifax Street and Melville Street. February 5th, behind the bus terminus. St. George Northeast, Willis Playing Field, Willis Medical Station, and Tempe. St. George South, February 4th and February 5th. Callish Junction to the top of Callice Hill, Coffee Bow and Stones, Pandy Beach, Mount Hartman and the entrance of Lansapines, Montu, Plainfield and Main Road, Woburn Mangrove and the area surrounding Calavini Community Center. St. Patrick East, January 28th, La Fortune Junction to Riverside Junction, and Hermitage. It's about national pride, a people zealous for the love for this country and its greater good. Over 30 community groups have been empowered with executing this independence cleanup and beautification campaign targeted at litter prevention, protection of the environment, and public health, while fostering a deeper commitment to community spirit. Who will emerge as the best village depicting the true spirit of independence? Support community development by participating in this national cleanup and beautification venture. There is a role for everyone. Give of your time for community cleanup or beautification. If you can't be there physically, support by providing cleanup tools and safety equipment. Be creative and provide decorations depicting these celebrations. Refreshments and transportation are also welcomed. To register your support, contact the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation at 435-8665. Grenada, it's the start. Let's do our part.
You ate well, drank and indulged, laughed and had so much fun for the festive season. But now it's time. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Start the year right with your health as a priority. Cleanse and flush your blood, liver, and kidneys with quality herbs and supplements. Purchase one of our detox combo packs starting from $100. Purchase a full body detox pack starting from $500. Get 10% off on colonic irrigation. Get a chance to win a free colonic irrigation treatment and product coupons with every purchase. We are located in Grandin, minutes before the Food Fair Shopping Center, immediately opposite the old Capital Bank building in the Regency Commercial Suites. Give us a call at 231-6642 or 418-7115 or visit nirvana.gd for more info. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We know real body care. This offer is valid until March 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
Celebrate 49 years of independence with LA Purcell when you shop at our stores. Save big on lumber, hardware, and furniture when you shop from January 26th to February 6th. Visit our stores today and check out our specially marked items. Price to go. Don't miss out on this independence sale. 49 years never felt so good at your favorite LA. Shop today and save the LA way. Paging all Grenadians at home and in the diaspora to be part of the journey to 50, reflecting on the past, planning for the future as we get ready to celebrate our 49th anniversary of independence. Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Events to be observed for our 49th anniversary of independence include table tennis tournament at the CSA building, February 3rd and February 4th. Independence Calypso Finals, Sutter's Bus Terminal, 8 p.m. February 3rd, February 4th. Open water swimming competition, Grand Mall Beach at 9 a.m. and beach tennis at Grandans Beach from 11 a.m. Also the Independence Boxing Tournament, February 4th, 8 p.m. at the Youth Center. National Independence Church Service, Grenada Trade Center, Sunday, February 5th, 3 p.m. National Colors Day, the Inter-Ministerial Display, and the 49th Cultural Extravaganza, 7 p.m. at the Granville Bus Terminal. February 6th, then the Made in Grenada Expo, Military Parade and Rally, 10 a.m. at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tuesday, February 7th, happy 49th, Grenada.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center, more than 40 representatives from private sector businesses in Trinidad and Tobago are in Grenada for 3 days as part of a trade mission here. The aim is to strengthen the export and import relationship between the two countries and create more opportunities for investment. Winipet Thomas reports.
Tuesday marks the first day of a 3-day trade mission that will see over 80 private sector business representatives from both Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago. The mission is a collaborative effort by the Government of Grenada and the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association. According to the CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, Ramesh Ramdeen, the association came to be after Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell extended an invitation to them last December.
We brought the Prime Minister of Grenada to speak at our President's dinner last year, and there we had some very good exchanges. And he invited the Minister of Trade, my President, myself, to bring a delegation. And I must say it's the largest trade delegation we have ever had since I'm working with the TTMA over 15 years now. So it tells me that there's significant interest from the business community in Trinidad and Tobago to come here in Grenada to see what opportunities exist, because the Prime Minister spoke very highly of potential in construction, in partnering in the printing and packaging, food and beverage, sourcing raw material, buying items, selling items. So, he really sold this opportunity here in Grenada, and we're here to see what happens.
Minister for Trade and Industry in Trinidad and Tobago, Paula Gopiskun, will join the delegates on Wednesday alongside other ministry officials from the neighboring country. The CEO outlined the aim of the trade mission and how it will benefit businesses from both countries.
Main objective is to solidify some trading relationship that already exists, but explore opportunities. As I said, we have people coming to look at investment opportunities and capabilities, and we have people looking at sourcing items to add value to input. Trinidad and Tobago has a large food and beverage sector, for example, and we import over $6 billion worth of goods, food items, into Trinidad and Tobago. There's no reason why some of those items can't be sourced from Grenada to come into Trinidad and Tobago, either as primary products for consumption or for agro-processing and re-exporting to other countries. And of course, we have manufacturers who are looking to export and further their export opportunities into the Grenadian market as well.
President of the Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Kenny John, says that both countries already have an established trade relationship, so why not explore ways to strengthen and develop it? He says all we have to do is raise the bar and work around the barriers.
Trade should be facilitated in two ways. The benefits, as I said earlier, would simply be making sure that the barriers that exist now, that we can facilitate them in a better way. Yes, so that there's a better ecosystem and an understanding of what are the specific laws that relates to those trade issues. Grenada and Grenadians have to think about what we want to do. Are we going to be a professional society? And that means raising our standards, obviously, and also putting mechanisms in place to have our country get used to producing once more.
For GBN News, I am Winipet Thomas reporting.
How much do you know about the Allied Health Council of Grenada? Chair of the Council, Dr. Nicole Ford, during Monday's Next Chapter program, gave an overview of the Council.
The core function is to govern, to guide, and to regulate all allied health professionals and their practices. Some of the other functions provided are the task that is mandated by the Act, includes assessing and determining applicants for registration and license, enforcing compliance, helping to increase the standards of practice, collaborating with other entities such as the GNTA, which we are doing now, to help persons to become eligible for registrations and license. We want to make sure also that persons are keeping with the standards of practice. In general, what we're looking for is a healthy nation with practitioners that are fully qualified to provide the services for our people.
Dr. Ford says one of the core values of the Council is ensuring the nation is equipped with medical practitioners who are certified in their fields.
The council is body corporate pursuant to Section 55, subsection 2 of the Health Practitioners Act, number Cap 132A. And that council is comprised of 7 appointed members by cabinet, and 4 of which are registered and licensed allied health practitioners, 1 attorney, 1 medical doctor that is registered and licensed also, 1 person to represent the public. And then we have CMO, which is the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Charles, who by virtue of his post is going to be there whether he likes it or not. And then we have 1 secretary that is appointed by cabinet also.
The primary functions of the Allied Health Council of Grenada are to protect the public, promote and uphold high standards of practice, facilitate continued competency, and maintain public confidence in professionals. Now, members' NIS contributions are expected to increase from February 2023. All this in an effort to save the entity. Minister for Social and Community Development and Housing, Philip Telesford, recently explained the need for this immediate action.
One of the things we would witness, beginning from the 1st of February, is an increase in the rate from the personal contributions would move from 5% to 5.5%. That's by individuals. And by employers, it will move from 6% to 6.5%. This would now enable us to properly fund an unemployment benefit scheme to benefit the population. This move is extremely critical.
The increase in NIS contributions was first announced by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell during the 2023 budget presentation in December last year. The Prime Minister also announced that government will amend the NIS legislation to increase the pension age to 65 by the year 2031 and strengthen its protection for children of deceased insured people. When parents come together to engage in positive activities in the interest of their children, it's not just a teachable moment, but also a fun-filled one. It's time to take a peek through the GBN ISO lens.
A good eye catches all. GBN ISO is brought to you by ClearVision. Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
It's very important that parents try to actively participate in their children's development, not just in the home, but at their schools. Tonight's ISO submission features that type of active participation. PTA executive members of the South St. George Government School led the school's assembly as the school launched its PTA Awareness Week. St. George Government School theme for the week is Stronger Together, Bridging the Gap Between Home and School. Share with us your own ISA moments via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
After the break, volunteer teams turn out to participate in community cleanup and beautification ahead of Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. Christina John will have the report.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Glenwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Did you know that our changing climate is disrupting weather patterns and continues to cause more intense weather systems? Did you know that at least 3/4 of natural disasters are water-related and their intensity and frequency is increasing? Did you know that rising sea levels can cause our fresh water to become contaminated or salty? These are just some of the realities that will be examined in our new series, Our Climate Reality, which premieres on Wednesday, February 1st from 8 p.m. on all GBN platforms. Our Climate Reality will engage local, regional, and international stakeholders in this fight to preserve our planet and our most precious resources. Our Climate Reality, brought to you in part by the Grenada Climate Resilient Water Sector and Habats.
I want your folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money
Hello again. Cleanup and beautification drive, all in the lead up to Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. My colleague Christina John was out and about in the communities on the weekend.
Teamwork makes the dream work. On Saturday, volunteers were out in their numbers. Residents of Marquis St. Andrew, supported by caretaker for the area, Senator David Andrew, and members of various polling divisions in St. Andrew, embarked on a campaign that saw the Marquis coastline and Hardcourt area being cleaned up and beautified. GBN's news crew was out as early as 6:30 Saturday morning to capture the teams in action. Senator Andrew said the issue of community spirit is something they want to see revived, where people take interest in doing things for and in their communities.
This initiative to clean up the beach is something that the community became interested in. A couple of residents felt the need, and we felt we could energize. That is, if we take care of the beach and look, the amount of plastics we see, if we could encourage residents to dispose of the garbage appropriately. Use the bins. We have a decent garbage collection system. And if you could avoid letting those get into our drains so that they wash down onto the seafront, that would be a big help. Because these things back up, they make our seafront unsightly. So these simple things that residents have control over, I am making an appeal to ensure that we manage those. The ones that we don't have the finance for, that we don't have the control to make, the decisions relating to, we leave those to the authorities that can. But I just appeal to residents to manage those elements that they can manage well.
He sees great potential for the tourism product as a great bit of history follows the village of Marquis.
Not just the need to clean the beaches up, but there is potential in this locale for a fantastic tourism product. Just right next door is Uncle's for premier restaurant entertainment spots in the area. It's a stop for tourists. This spot is a stop for tourists too, on the lookout. This very locale is historically the first town in Grenville. That was the town before Grenville. There's a lot of history here. Just up the road, there's a fort. There's the Mount Carmel Falls. So this area has a lot of potential, and when many of the tourists pass here, in fact, from time they leave St. George, this is the first place they get to see and come so close to the water, right here. And so we felt there were just so many positive things about this area that to keep the beach clean is something that we want to support.
Doris Julian, member of the St. Andrew South East Executive, spoke of their intent for their community and other surrounding communities.
And as a cleanup campaign of the beach and the area surrounding the court, because there will be an pre-independent activity going on here on the 4th of February. And there will be a beautification and, you know, the whole independent spirit, painting and buntings and, you know, getting us into independence mode. Collaborated with the Senator, David Andrew, and we have 10 PDs in St. Andrew Southeast. So at least we have a representative from every PD present. We come together to do Marquis. Marquis will be our first because of the independence activity, but we intend to do it throughout the constituency.
Christina John, GBN News.
Spice Boys to play international friendly against the USA. Sports News is next.
Your Gifts of Love for Cheer 2.0. Tis the season for holly jolly days at the communal. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love, getting on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2023. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2023. Lending terms and conditions apply.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, Because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Sporting fans, good evening. Only one match was played in the inter-secondary school cricket competition yesterday. Carriacou journeyed to the mainland to face Presentation Brothers College. Communications officer in the Ministry of Sports, Corinne Maureen Alexander, has the results as well as the lineup for the return of the Subway basketball tournament.
Here are the results from Monday's match between PBC and Carriacou. Carriacou won by 8 wickets. PBC batted first and made 76 all out, with Samuel Fleury top scoring with 18 runs. Desron Williams took 4 wickets for Carriacou. Carriacou responded with 79 runs for 2 wickets, with Desron Williams top scoring with 23 not out and Martin Emmons making 19. On Wednesday, we'll see the return of the Subway Secondary Schools basketball tournament with the male quarterfinals, and on Thursday with the female semi-finals. MacDonald College comes up against Wesley College at Guave from 3 p.m. GBSS versus St. Mark's Secondary School at the Carenage from 2 p.m. After Game 1, PBC plays SAS at the Carenage. GSS comes up against the Happy Hill Secondary School at Grenville. On Thursday in the female semi-finals, GSS comes up against MacDonald College at the Grenville Hardcourt from 2 p.m. St. Joseph's Convent St. George's comes up against Anglican High School at the Carenage from 3 p.m.
With only 7 weeks to go before Grenada come up against the USA in the second leg of the CONCACAF Nations League, the senior men's national team is looking to get some much-needed practice matches.
Are literally preparing the local players right now. The local players are going to be engaged in at least 2 or 3 international matches before the US game. During those international matches, the coaching staff will have a good look at them to see who's ready to play against the US, and after that they'll decide as to who is selected locally and internationally. So the players who are even playing abroad, and some of them would have played for Grenada before, there's no automatic selection for anyone, or I hope there's no automatic selection for anyone. But at the end of the day, the decision of the 11 players on the field and the rest of the players on the bench will be determined by our coaching staff.
GFA President Marlon Glean talking there. He says it will be an active season for the senior men's national team.
This is the last game in the Nations League that started last year. Once it finishes in March, then we go on to Gold Cup qualifying. We more than likely will be in the play-in for the Gold Cup, which plays 1 week before the Gold Cup start for the last 3 spots or so. We're going to be traveling to Miami, I'm guessing, to participate in the play-in for the Gold Cup. And once we're successful in playing the Gold Cup is in July, and then again we go back to the Nations League, which we're playing in against the US right now. It restarts again somewhere in September or so. So it's going to be a packed calendar for our national team.
All right. right, so the Spice Boys will play USA on March 24 at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. The Karani James Athletic Stadium will come alive on Wednesday, February 1 for the Angela Greenwich St. Louis Girls RC School Athletic Meet beginning at 10 in the morning. The sports meet will be held in honor of the now deceased Angela Greenwich, a past teacher of the school who contributed immensely to the institution's sporting excellence. Organizers promise a competitive and fun-filled meet. Well, West Indies senior selection panel has called up 4 of the West Indies Under-19 Rising Stars players who competed at the ICC Women's Under-19 World Cup to the West Indies women's team. More in this TTT News Report.
West Indies Under-19 all-rounders Zaida James and Jennifer Joseph, wicketkeeper batter Trishan Holder, and fast bowler Janalia Glasgow have all been called up as injury cover for the final tri-series match against Indian women currently underway at Buffalo Park in East London. Stephanie Taylor, Chanel Henry, Shakira Selman and Chedi Nation are currently going through return-to-play rehabilitation ahead of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Holder and Joseph made their West Indies senior debuts against England last December, while Glasgow and James were travelling reserves with the senior team last year. During the ICC Women's Under-19 World Cup, James struck 2 half-centuries and had a 4-wicket haul, while Joseph struck an unbeaten 44 not out in their Super Sixes match against England. Holder had a well-compiled 34 not out or 14 balls against Indonesia, and Glasgow was the spearhead of the bowling attack. Wayne Cunningham.
Thank you very much. That's the sports news for now. Black Panther star Letitia Wright has encouraged peace and love among parliamentarians so as for the betterment and empowerment of Guyana. Wright, who migrated 20 years ago with her family to the United Kingdom, visited the National Assembly on Monday. The rest of the details in this report.
Born movie star Letitia Wright is enjoying her sojourn to Ghana after years of mastering her craft overseas, and she's enjoying every bit of her home soil. Known for a role in the movie Black Panther, Letitia, in her unique way, says she has been keeping the flag of Guyana flying high. Filled with emotion on her arrival last Friday night to a warm welcome home, Wright showed her humility and quickly adopted. She has been enjoying tours to Kaito Falls and several parts of Guyana. Today, she visited with the National Assembly, where she met with members of both sides of the House. She encouraged peace and love.
Not been home for about 20 years now. I left the country when I was just 8 years old, and I was fortunate to have the opportunity in the UK to expand on the talent that God gave to me of acting and travel the world. So it means a lot to come back home. I just want to thank everyone that has invited me to return home. And I just want to encourage you all, as you know, I don't know the ins and outs of politics, and I care more about children and the betterment of young people. That's kind of where my ministry is. But as you all come together to make decisions for the country, I encourage you both, from both sides, both parties. I encourage peace, I encourage love. I'm of peace, I'm of love, and I'm just proud of you both and everybody that's working together for the betterment and the empowerment of our country. So God bless you all as you go forth and make our country a better place from both sides. I honor you all.
Wright has returned to Guyana after 20 years and said this means a whole lot to her.
106 schools are the objects of intense focus by the Ministry of Education to improve academic performance in the current academic year and continuing. This number includes the 26 secondary schools that the ministry had specific focus on in July 2022. More in this report.
8 primary schools have been added to the ministry's remediation program with a focus to improving, among other things, academic performance. Education Minister Dr. Nian Gatsby-Dolly said Cabinet approved the implementation of a remediation program in these 8 primary schools in December, with additional measures at the 26 existing secondary schools in focus. However, the minister said this is no quick fix and would require continuous monitoring.
The issues affecting the education sector did not develop in 2 years and will not be solved by any one measure, and certainly not quickly.
The schools were chosen based on historic academic achievement and absenteeism, among others. Dr. Gatsby-Dolly also mentioned that the lack of physical schools during the pandemic would have also contributed to decreasing performance.
We have been visiting schools, speaking to teachers, and from their experiences, it is clear that the students would have experienced, some more than others, a struggle in the last 2 years.
In addition to the ministry's vacation revision program, other measures including an after-school support program for standards 3 to 5 in primary schools are being implemented.
Will provide tuition in the areas of mathematics, English language arts, and English language arts writing in the 80 selected primary schools. 80 center managers and 450 tutors will be hired.
The ministry also intends to expand the vacation revision program to both primary and secondary schools, training of teachers, principals, and curriculum officers, and the implementation of restorative practices in 10 secondary schools.
Further afield, U.S. President Joe Biden has informed Congress that on May 11, his administration will formally end 2 national emergencies declared to address the COVID-19 pandemic, restructuring the federal response to the virus as an endemic public health threat. More details in this report.
Since President Joe Biden took office, the national and public health emergency declarations were extended. Now the president plans to extend them both briefly to end on May 11th. This comes following resolutions being brought to the House floor by Republicans to bring the emergency to an immediate end. House Republicans are also gearing up to launch investigations on the federal government's response to COVID-19. It was in February of 2020 that the World Health Organization revealed the new name for the virus. Since then, more than 1.1 million people in the U.S. have died from the virus. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, with the end of COVID-19 emergencies, there will be big changes in the healthcare system. Lawmakers have already started the drawdown of most federal COVID-19 relief money. The development of vaccines and treatments will be shifted away from the direct management of the government. The cost of COVID-19 vaccines are expected to skyrocket. Pfizer said it will charge as much as $130 per dose. Free at-home COVID tests will also come to an end. Hospitals will not get extra payments for treating COVID patients, and millions of Americans could lose Medicaid by April as a pandemic rule that barred states from kicking people off Medicaid comes to an end.
Stay with us. We'll remind you of the headlines when we return. We're getting ready to leave you, but first a reminder of the headlines. Government aims to salvage Kimton-Kawanabay project. Inadequate court facilities again affecting the judicial process. Local businesses to benefit from 3-day trade mission. Volunteer teams engage in cleanup and beautification ahead of Grenada's 49th anniversary of independence. And around the globe, regionally, Black Panther Star encourages peace and love among parliamentarians in Guyana. Internationally, the U.S. to end COVID-19 emergencies in May. Plus, in the sports news, Spice Boys to play international friendly against the USA on March 24. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. That's all from us in the newsroom for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.